Hello and welcome to CodeBlaze, and in this Unity tutorial I'll be showing you how to create native Android toasts. So obviously there's a way to use the default Unity UI to achieve the same, and like you can create your own UI element and that would be more cross-platform also, but that is much more work than this. This is really simple to do. In just few lines of code you'll have a toast manager and you'll be able to create native Android toasts. So you can use this for debugging purposes, or if you're like me, you're not that good with UI design, the default Android toast is pretty much nice and you get auto fade out times and everything. So to just get started, I just created an empty Unity project and I'll just create one mono behavior here. Create C# script. I'll call this, I had to rename that. Toast demo, and I open this in Rider. Okay, we'll create one more C# class which will be a singleton. That will be our toast manager. So we'll be writing all our main code in the toast manager and we'll make it a singleton, so we'll be able to call the show toast method from anywhere we want. So we'll first create the static instance. Okay, and we'll need some other references also, Android Java objects. So working with the native Android classes is really easy in Unity. So you have few utility classes through which you can access the Java objects, classes, and many other stuff. And you can basically call methods using hard coding them as strings. So the only thing you need to take care is you make sure your spellings are correct, because you'll need to give full package names. So now we'll create the private constructor. Okay, so we need a few things. First we'll need the Unity player, which is actually running our application in Android. So we'll just get this from new Android. It's an Android Java class, and here you'll need to give proper full Java names, that is the package name and the class. So just copy paste them to avoid errors, and I'll have these names down in the description so you can also copy paste them. Next we'll get the current activity. We get that from the Unity player dot get. We call a static method on it which returns an Android Java object, and the method's name is currentActivity. So as you can see, this way you can pretty much easily interact with the native Android system. So you can get your activity, you can get your application context, so you can do a lot of things with that. And we need the application context also, so we'll call getApplicationContext on activity. So if you have some knowledge of Android development, this method you call a lot to get the application context in your activity. So that's the same thing that's happening here. Now we'll create a public static void show method. So by using this we'll be showing our message whatever we want. So we'll take the string message. Okay, so first I'll add a check here, like if the application.platform is not equal to runtime platform.android, I'll return. Now you can do this checks using preprocessor if you want, or you can do an if. Now preprocessor is much better because that removes the dead code, but you'll have to make sure like you add it to the right places, so you don't have, like if you put this whole class in the preprocessor and still have your references calling the show method, now that will lead to errors. Also, one thing I need to point out that this singleton implementation isn't thread safe. So if you have your application in which you need to call the show UI from multiple threads, you can just search on Google thread safe singletons and use that implementation for the singleton. Okay, now we'll create our instance. So if instance equals to null, instance is equal to new toast manager. So that's it. Now to actually call the showToast method, we need to be on the UI thread. So that is something that is there in the Android. You can only create toast from the UI thread, but Android also provides a easy function to which you pass a delegate, and that will run on the UI thread. It's called runOnUiThread. So we'll use that function. So on the instance, we'll get the activity and we'll call the runOnUiThread function. So we don't need return anything, and I'll just copy the function name. Okay, now we need to pass as a delegate or a runnable. So we'll create a new Android Java runnable and we'll give this a delegate. Okay, so this delegate function will run on the UI thread, so you can easily do whatever you want and create those. So first thing we need to do is convert this string into a Java string. So we'll call this jMessage is equal to new Android Java object of type java.lang.String, and we'll pass it the message. Next we need to get the reference to the toast class. So we'll get this by new Android Java class, and we'll again give it the full name, that is android.widget.Toast, and then we can call the create the toast. So the creation of the toast returns a handle to it. So we'll do jToast.call static. Again, this will return an Android Java object, and we'll call the method makeText. Okay, then we need to give it the context, which we can get from instance.context. Then we need to give it the Java string or the message that we need to show, and the next we need to give it the length. Now this length can actually be an integer, but the Android Toast has two predefined integers, short and long, for two default lengths. So if you go to the Android docs, toast docs, these are, so you have this toast.length short and toast.length long. So this will just give you two predefined integers. I guess they are 200 or 400, but you can give any integer and that would be in milliseconds. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to create the enum. So I will have this also as configurable. So we'll just create one enum, public enum, and we'll have short and long, and we'll take this enum also as an input. Okay, now depending upon the value of this enum, we'll need to create the string length short or length long. So for that we'll just use a switch case. So rather than writing that switch case, I'll just copy it here. Okay, okay, so I just declare one jLength string and I do a simple switch case and set the value of jLength to either length short or length long. So but this default case I don't think so I will be hit. You'll be providing the enum values either of these two. So we have that, and we can just give this now those strings. So we'll call jToast.getStatic to get static. So the value is integer and the static will be from jLength. Okay, so now we have our handle. So all we need to do is call the show method on the handle, and that's it. So with this you'll be able to use your toast manager anywhere in your code. Again, I'm stressing it out that this is not a thread safe implementation of the singleton pattern. If you need that, you'll just Google it. So we'll just need the remove the update method. We don't need that. And just to use this, you need toast manager.show. You can just give it any message you want. Okay, and you'll just give it a length like long, and go back to Unity, and I'll just add this mono behavior to a game object. Yeah, so I'll just add this. There was stupid error on my side where the file was renamed but the class wasn't renamed, and so Unity was giving me an error. And that's it. Now I'll just add a footage of my device playing this game and you'll be able to see the toasts. Okay, so now as you can see the toasts were successful, and that's it for the tutorial. And just few things that I want to talk about more. So this toast manager is part of my, so I'm developing a code library which contains some utility methods for Unity. So it's also the part of my recent game Color Dash, and it was actually developed according to it. So whatever I thought was reusable, I tried to move to this library. I'll be working on this library some more, and once I think it's ready to be shared, I'll put it on GitHub and you'll be able to use it. And the other thing is, now that Color Dash is out, I just want to create a overview video going through the code and what all I use, so what all my learnings were with it, like how my experience was. So I'll make a series on it, explaining the code in Color Dash and like going over it and telling you about my reasoning for the decisions that I made and what I think could be done better and what I didn't like. So again, I was using two libraries, UniRX and ZenJect, in that project. So I'll also go over them, what are my thoughts about that. And if you want to see it, please do subscribe so you'll get the notification and ring the bell icon. And if you like this tutorial, do leave a like. Any rating is appreciated, and if you have any other suggestions, do leave them down below in the comments. Thank you.